power is now in your hands to do the truth, so help you, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Just step up, just watch your step. Slide this chair underneath. You can have a seat. Can we, baby, just keep your voice up when you speak? Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Excellent, we can hear you. I'm just going to ask if you can keep that microphone reasonably close to you, sir. Can you please spell your first and last name for the record?
Sure. It's officially spelled C-E-M, last name M-U-T-L-U. I also spell it with a G, G-E-M.
And can you state your name for us, sir?
Cem Mutlu.
And, sir, right now I'd like to just focus on asking you some questions about a conversation you had with Ana Walshe on December 29th of 2022. Why did you call her that day? Why did you two talk that day?
I called her to congratulate her on her closing.
And how long was the conversation?
I believe it was about 45 minutes.
And besides congratulating her on the closing, what else did the two of you talk about?
We caught up as friends. We talked about plans and also her life at the time, how she was feeling, and yeah, we caught up on a number of things.
Okay, so what did she tell you about her life at the time?
That what I got from it was that there were some issues, marital issues included, and yeah, and that she was, I told her, I said, I don't want you to be too strong. Have you considered therapy? And she said yes.
Okay. What is your memory of what she said as far as marital issues? And not your feeling, but what you remember the conversation to be, sir.
Sure. Part of it was that she was going back and forth from D.C., which was taking a toll on her, and the fact that that Brian had not been able to leave Massachusetts, so the children were here, and that was a huge burden on her psyche, and that, you know, there were other issues. I don't recall with precision as to what they were. I do recall clearly making a mental note to say, this is going to be a much longer conversation, face-to-face, together, and a conversation, obviously, we never had an opportunity to have.
Okay, so within that conversation, when she had discussions with you about marital issues, it was, I want to make sure that we've got this right, the difficulty of traveling, was that it, one of them, for work?
The fact that she was not seeing the children frequently.
All right, yeah. So that's more accurate, and I don't want to misstate what you're saying, sir.
That's correct.
Not seeing the children, and was also another part of it that Brian couldn't leave Massachusetts. That's correct.
And
I don't want to put words in your mouth, sir. I want to make sure that I'm getting your memory of the conversation. Is that what your memory of the conversation is?
Well, my memory of the conversation is that they had marital issues and that she was seeking counseling for all the difficulties in her life, including marital issues.
Okay.
And I encouraged her to do the same because she's a very strong person, and
yes.
Yet I specifically remember telling her, I don't want you to be too strong. Yeah.
Okay. And within the marital issues, did she say specifically what the marital issues were?
I don't recall going into detail during that conversation. There was another conversation we had in the summer I remember that the parts of that conversation. That was almost a 2-hour-long conversation. I was in Puerto Rico at the time, and she and I had a lengthy conversation. At that time, she said that that Brian's art fraud case was taking its toll, that attorney fees were piling up, and that there was a lot of strain financially, a lot of difficulty, and yeah.
Okay, but more to the point of December 29th, I'm going to ask you again.
Yeah.
Did she say anything in the December 29th conversation with you about Brian not being able to leave Massachusetts?
I don't recall with precision. I recall the feeling of it. I do not recall with precision as to whether those words in particular were spoken.
Certainly. And do you have any memory of when she discussed marital problems with you on December 29th, any issues of not seeing the children, of her stating that?
Again, I do not recall with precision what words were spoken.
Okay.
That was the gist of a lot of her problems.
Okay. So when you say that's the gist, is that the gist from the December 29th conversation, or is that your understanding of her overall problems?
I believe it's both.
Okay. All right. So now I want to ask you about New Year's Eve. On New Year's Eve, did you see Ana texting at all?
I did.
And from what you know of New Year's Eve, not from what people told you afterwards, do you know who she was texting to?
Yeah. That I recall, I believe she was texting Abdullah. I believe she was texting Will Fasto. And I believe she may have been texting Emily, a mutual friend, and other people were texting her. It was New Year's Eve, so there was a lot of back and forth texting. Yeah.
And how do you know this from New Year's Eve? What did you experience, see, or what did you experience on New Year's Eve that lets you know this?
I was sitting right next to her at the kitchen table.
And did she ever say, now the three of, did you ever
Kitchen
take?
counter.
Kitchen counter.
Yeah.
Did you ever?
Stools on the counter there?
Yes, there were stools on the counter.
And were you and Ana seated on
On the same side. On the
Okay.
same side. I was seated here and she was to my left.
directly side by side?
Directly side by
Did
side.
she ever show you her phone that night? When she was sitting with you there?
She had her phone with her. She took a picture of us that night. Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. With the picture, do you remember who she sent it to that night? Not, and this is what I'm really going to focus you, sir, is that night, not what people told you afterwards. Do you have a memory of who she may have sent the picture you took with her that night?
I believe that she said, let's take a picture and send it to Will Fasto.
And, sir,
Out loud, she said that?
I believe so. I believe she said that to me that night. Let's take a picture out loud. Yes, let's take a picture and send it to Will Fasto. Again, I do not remember it with precision, but I do remember the picture being taken. Yeah.
and sir, is it fair to say that along the lines of that statement, you told that to me yesterday at lunch? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Had you told me that before, to your memory?
I do not recall.
Okay. And on New Year's Eve, did you have any conversations with Ana about marital problems?
No.
Did you have any conversations with Brian about marital problems?
No.
And I think that that covers the subject matter of the blog view. So I have no further questions at this point in time.
Good
Thank you.
morning. You had just mentioned a conversation that you had with Ms. Walshe on the 29th of December.
Yes.
If I could just have you lean into that mic so we can hear you. Thank you.
Sure.
And during that conversation, you told us that she mentioned, I think it was difficult to be away from her kids.
I believe so, yes.
And I think you had said at one point that it was difficult to travel back and forth.
I believe so. I mean, those are things that I knew about her anyway. We're very close friends.
Well, let me just stop you. When you say those were things you knew about her anyways,
Yes.
what we're trying to do is focus you on things that she told you herself during that conversation. So as you sit here right now, do you have a memory of specifically what she told you herself on that 12:29 phone call?
I do not remember everything that was said during a 45-minute conversation with Ana that night.
So let me just jump in here for a second. You had a conversation with Ana Walshe on December 29th, 2022.
I did.
And you remember the conversation was about 45 minutes long.
That's correct.
So what I want you to distinguish between, sir, is you don't have to remember the exact words that she used these years later, but you have to have a memory that she actually said what you're discussing, as opposed to this feeling, this gist. You have a memory that she, even if you don't remember the exact words, that she did discuss with you, for instance, what counsel just said, this idea of being troubled by not seeing the children. So, again, shortly after, I discussed, I explained over a 2.5 hour statement to Detective Harrison what I remembered, because it was all fresh. And that testimony you do have. Okay. What I do not remember. I assume you reviewed that in connection with your testimony here today?
I'm sorry?
Have you reviewed your prior statements to the police?
I have not. Right. No, I have not. I have not. So it's been 3 years, and that's why some of the very words that were spoken, I do not remember. I do remember very specifically having made a mental note to say, she has told me that there are marital issues, that she is seeking counseling, that it's been hard on her, and that this gets to be a much longer conversation. So I made that note, and I was going to reach out to her after the New Year's Eve event to schedule a time in person to speak about those issues.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
You used the term marital issues. When you first started talking to us this morning, you stated what I got from the conversation. And you had told us that, you were close with Ana, right?
Yes, very close.
So when you say that you got from her, was it just your feeling that during this conversation that she was having marital issues, or she specifically said the words marital issues?
I do not recall her using the words marital issues. I recall her talking about problems with Brian.
And when you say problems with Brian, the two that you have specified were being away from the children and going back and forth from work.
I'll take a minute to try and remember if there was anything else that was that I can remember right now.
Well, and you previously testified today that Brian not being able to come to D.C.
So the feeling that you got was that she was having marital issues, but it wasn't a statement that she said to you.
No, it was, she did mention problems. She did mention issues. I just don't recall her using the words marital issues.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You can step down, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like us to be heard at sidebar? I'm happy to say, Your Honor, I think that...
Hold on. Now you may speak.
Thank you, I apologize.
All right.
I don't have eyes back here. So...
You are unmuted.
Witness stated she told me there are marital issues, and then when asked about the term marital issues, he stated that there were problems in the marriage, being away from the children and traveling back and forth from work. I would suggest that those come from that conversation, and that is absent of a feeling or a gist and would be admissible. And I would ask, and I would actually even lead on that, just to make sure that we're going to the right portion, and I'm not misstating what he said.
Well, I'll hear from the defense both with regard to the initial argument and also what's your position if I do let what's your position with regard to leading?
I would object. I don't think it's appropriate or necessary. He's a grown man. If there's an objection, I will make it. I don't think this is appropriate to lead this particular witness where they want him to go. With respect to the testimony, I don't think he should be able to use the term marital issue or marital problems. He was consistently pressed about what Ana told him. It's clear that this was his feeling, his characterization of that conversation. The purpose of this hearsay exception is to admit specific statements of a witness to show state of mind or motive. It is not a chance for this witness to pontificate about his feelings and responses to that witness. So I think he should be limited to just what she said, and I would object if he starts talking about marital problems or marital issues, because I believe that was his characterization.
All right. So as I said to him, he doesn't have to remember the exact words that she used. What he needs to remember is that she actually said it to him. It seems to me there are at least 3 things that he recalls her saying to him, maybe not the exact words, but they, as you just went through, that the back and forth was taking a toll on her, not seeing the children. I don't know if you put those 2 as one, that Brian hadn't been able to leave Massachusetts, and that was a huge burden on her psyche, I think is what he said. I think those are fair statements that he can bring in. I don't think he's had the benefit now of this voir dire in which he's gotten a little bit of legal instruction. I don't know how it's going to play out real time with regard to that word, marital problem, marital issues. But I suspect we'll take that as it comes. He may stay away from that just because he's just been cautioned and just been sort of made aware of the distinction of that he doesn't recall her using those words. So I suspect he won't bring that out. If he does, we'll either clarify it by saying, do you have any memory of her actually using those words? And I will entertain a motion to strike. But I think the general gist of he remembers enough of that conversation that some of it's going to come in, the 3 parts that I have indicated. Because it came up, I'd rather get out in front of this issue than being in the backside of it. Is the Commonwealth intending to bring up during his examination the Puerto Rico conversation?
No, Your Honor, that is the first I heard of it. I wouldn't do that.
All right. And then the other information that he provided, I guess, to the Commonwealth yesterday. That Ana said, let's take a picture and send it to Will Fasto. I assume the defendant isn't objecting to that.
We're not, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else we need to cross?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you.
What time is it? Oh, they're already here. It's great. We can bring them in and then we'll get to it.
Your Honor, could I just have that break to talk to the witness?
You may. I'm just going to stay on the bench and take some notes. But
I will
you
be right back.
can go do that.
Thank you very much.
Harry, all persons having anything to do for the Honorable Judge Frenier, Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court, draw near, leave your attendance, and you shall be heard. By the Commonwealth. May be seated. Court is in session.
Good morning, jurors. Good morning. Jurors, welcome back to the courtroom. We'll start today, as we do every day, with our conversation about the rules. Jurors, were you able to comply with my order that you not do any research about this case? And were you able to comply with my order that you not speak to anyone about this case? Yes. Yes. and were you able to comply with my order that you not go on any social media or go on any news media?
Yes.
And you all still have open minds?
Yes.
With those 4 questions, for the record, I'll answer in the affirmative by all 16 jurors in the box. We're ready to begin today's work. Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth would call Jem Mutlu.
Raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you shall give in the cause now in hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. You can be seated.
Right this way, sir. Just take your time, just watch your step. Sure. Sharon, you can have a seat.
Thank you.
Just pull that chair a little tighter. Okay, we'll keep your voice up when you speak. Thank
Sure,
you.
thank you.
And you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Could you please spell your name for the record?
Sure. It's C-E-M, last name M-U-T-L-U. I also spell it with a G, G-E-M.
And could you tell us your name, sir?
Jem Mutlu.
Sir, what do you do for work?
I'm a realtor,
How long have you been a realtor?
about 25 years.
And what geographic area do you sell?
Boston, suburbs, and eastern Massachusetts.
Commercial or residential?
Residential.
And, sir, are you familiar with Brian Walshe?
I am.
Can you tell us how you're familiar with Brian Walshe?
We met at a leadership program back in 2020.
Can you tell us the name of the leadership program?
Boston Breakthrough Academy.
And so, how long did the program go on for?
It was the length of a semester, practically. Started at the beginning of the year and ended about the summer.
And so you met Mr. Walshe at this leadership program. What was your relationship with him during this program?
In the program, there was a buddy system. Everyone partnered with someone, and Brian asked to be my partner, and that's how we got to know each other.
And so, did you maintain a relationship with him after the leadership program?
Yes, I did.
Now, are you familiar with Brian's wife, Ana Walshe?
Yes, I am.
How are you familiar with Ana?
I met her through Brian. She came to one of the graduations, and then I was introduced and knew about her interest in real estate. We had a mutual friend, so it was inevitable that we would meet.
And sir, I'm going to ask if you can pull that microphone closer to you. I think that'll help out.
Sure.
Okay, much better, sir. So, sir, did Ana Walshe ever work for you?
Yes, she did.
When did you hire Ana Walshe to start working for you?
It was the summer of 2020.
And what was her role for you?
She was our director of operations for my team.
And your team, how large was your team at this point in time?
When she started, there were a few of us, but eventually we had 3 operators and I believe 5 or 6 agents and part-time marketing directors, et cetera.
And how would you characterize your relationship with Ana Walshe?
We became very close as friends.
And when did she stop working for you?
It was the spring of 2022.
Why did she stop working for you?
In the fall of 2021, she told me that she was offered a stellar job opportunity in D.C. And she asked for my blessings for it.
Now, sir, when the two of you work together, how often would the two of you communicate?
Practically every day, multiple times a day.
And after she stopped working for you, how often would you communicate?
Not as frequently.
what was your relationship like with her family?
Brian and her children,
Yes, sir.
I saw them as my own.
Now, did you ever have, or your team is probably the better way to put this, did your team ever have the opportunity to sell any properties for Ana Walshe?
Yes, we did.
Can you tell us what properties your team sold for Ana Walshe?
We sold a property in Marblehead where they were living when I met them. And then we moved them to a property in Cohasset, and then we sold that property as well for them.
Were there any investment properties that your team was able to sell for Ana Walshe?
Yes,
Where was that property?
in Revere.
And do you remember when that sale occurred?
Well, that sale would have closed on December 29th or just a day or so before, because I called her on the 29th, a couple days before New Year's, to congratulate her.
So I'm going to ask you some questions about December 29th now, sir.
Yes.
When you called her, how long do you think that call was?
It was about 45 minutes.
And why did you call her?
I called to congratulate her on the closing, and I had found out that she was going to reinvest that property.
And when you say reinvest that property,
Rather, reinvest the proceeds from the sale of the property.
and sir, are you familiar with what's called a 1031 exchange?
I am.
Could you just tell us what a 1031 exchange is?
Sure. It's a federal like-kind tax-deferred exchange program where after a specific closing, a buyer...
I'm going to interrupt you because of the noise outside.
Sure.
And then once that passes,
Of course.
it's kind of tough to compete with that.
Of course.
All right. Now, sir, I think that that's passed. You said that there's a certain period of time for this exchange. Can you tell us again?
Correct. Typically, buyers have 45 days to declare 1, 2, or 3 properties. It has to be of equal or greater value, and they would have 6 months, 180 days to close on 1, 2, or 3 of those properties to equal, again, or be greater than the value of the proceeds of the sale.
And so your understanding at this point in time was that Ana Walshe was going to use these funds for a 1031 exchange.
That's correct. I was happy for her that she would actually reinvest and that that she would grow financially.
Now, during this conversation, what plans were made for New Year's Eve?
She specifically told me, she said, I know you. You're not going to go anywhere for New Year's Eve. You're just going to stay at home. Please come and spend New Year's with us.
Did you agree to?
I did.
Now, during the conversation, what did she tell you? Well, let me ask you this. When you had this conversation, did she have any problems?
Yes.
What did she tell you about these problems?
She had,
So let me, jurors, give you a little midstream instruction with regard to the expected testimony. I expect now that Mr. Mutlu is going to provide some testimony regarding statements that were made by Ana Walshe during this conversation on December 29, 2022. The statements made by Ana Walshe are being admitted only for the limited purpose of establishing her state of mind, cannot be considered as proof of the criminal acts charged. You may proceed.
Thank you. So, sir, what did she tell you as far as problems she was having in this conversation on December 29th?
while I don't remember the specific words that were spoken after 3 years,
Yes, sir.
I will tell you that she did say that at the time that they were having marital problems.
Objection, Your Honor. Characterization.
All right. I'll strike the characterization. Why don't you approach it a different way?
I will. What did she tell you as far as traveling back and forth?
That it was taking a toll on her, that she wasn't, that obviously as a mother, not seeing her children.
Your Honor, objection, move to strike. May we be seen at sidebar?
You may be.
Sir, what did she say about not seeing the children?
That it was difficult for her.
And what did she say about Brian Walshe not being able to leave Massachusetts?
Again, I don't recall specifically the words that were spoken.
Okay.
I do not recall exactly every single word that was spoken during that conversation.
Understood. It's been 3 years, sir.
It has.
Okay.
I did give Detective Harrison.
Objection, Your Honor, move to strike.
All right, we'll strike that last portion.
It's okay. And
We'll
sir,
have another
again,
question.
Sure,
thank you.
I understand.
Now, sir, moving past December 29th. Okay. When was the next time you got to see Ana Walshe?
On December 31st,
Where did you get to see Ana Walshe?
at their rental house in Cohasset.
Okay. So that night when you went to the rental house, did you bring anything with you?
I did.
What did you bring with you?
I brought fruit and chocolate for the children, and yeah,
And about what time do you think you got to their home that night?
about 8:30.
Was anyone with you when you went to the home?
Yes, I mean not with me. No, there were people in the home.
Well, we're going to get to that. So, but with you, there was no one else with you in your car.
There was no one else with me. No.
Okay. And so tell us what happened when you got there at the Walshe house.
Anna came running out of the house to greet me. Yeah, that's what happened.
And when she greeted you, where'd you go, sir?
Excuse me.
Where did you go? When she greeted you, where were you when she greeted you?
I was still pulling up into the driveway. She came running out of the house with no coat on. It was freezing.
And what happened when she greeted you?
What is it?
What happened when she greeted you? What did she do?
I'm sorry, couldn't
What
hear.
did she do, sir?
What did she do? Well, I opened the door. We hugged each other, and then she ushered me in.
Now, when you got inside, who was home?
Brian was there.
And where were the children at this point in time?
I was told they were sleeping.
And so when you got inside, where did the three of you kind of socialize or congregate?
Sure. It was in the kitchen countertops. There was a large island.
And Ms. Gilman, could we have Exhibit 3? Sir, can you see that screen? Showing, for the record,
Yes.
Exhibit 3 is on the screen. You were nodding your head. Can you see it?
I can see it.
All right. Is that where the three of you socialized that night?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Now, what was Ana Walshe's demeanor that night when you were in their kitchen?
Festive. Very
What-
happy to see me, and yeah,
And I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
that's it.
What was Brian Walsh's demeanor like while the three of you were together?
He seemed fine. He seemed happy.
And so when we were looking at Exhibit 3, where were you seated as far as being around in the kitchen?
Anna and I were seated on the stools
Okay.
at the kitchen, and Brian was on the other side preparing the meal and serving us drinks and food.
Okay. Now, that night, did anyone join the three of you?
Yes,
Who joined the three of you?
Their oldest son.
And
Yeah.
what happened when he joined the three of you?
He ran to me and he said, "Jem, I haven't seen you in a while. I miss you." And he hugged me.
Now, did you take any photos with the oldest child that night?
Yes, Ana took a photo.
And that night, Ana took the photo. What did she use to take the photo?
I believe it was her cell phone that she used.
And so that night with her cell phone, could you see her doing anything with her cell phone?
She was texting folks.
And do you know who she was texting?
Well, I do know that she had either received a text message or was texting back with Abdullah. And I believe she said, "Let's take a photo for Will and send it to Will Fasto." And I believe she was texting with Emily, and it would have been maybe a bunch of other friends, yeah, who were texting her. It was New Year's Eve. A lot of messages back and forth.
How long was their oldest child with you that night?
I'm going to say a half hour, maybe a little more.
And that night, what did the three of you have to drink?
Mostly wine and champagne. I don't recall having had hard liquor.
And did you do anything with the champagne box that night?
Yes,
What did the three of you do with the champagne box?
we all signed it.
Your Honor, we have previously marked as exhibits 257, 258, 259, pictures of the champagne box. How will proceed to publish?
You may.
Ms. Gilman, could we have...
So the previously marked exhibits 257, 58, and 59 are identified for the record now as three photos. 257 is the side of the bottle that Ana Walshe signed. 258 is the side of the box that Brian Walshe signed. 259 is the side of the box that Mr. Mutlu signed. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Gilman, could we have file number SLD 7221, which has now been marked as exhibit 257? Mr. Mutlu, is this the box the three of you signed?
Yes,
And are you able to read the writing on the box in exhibit 257?
yes,
Could you read it out loud for us, sir?
sure. Wow, 2022, what a year. And yet we are still here, and together, let's make 2023 the best one yet. We are the authors of our lives. Courage, love, perseverance, compassion, and joy. Love, Ana.
Ms. Gilman, could we now have exhibit 258, which is file number 7222? Sir, does this look like the side that Brian signed?
Yes,
Could you read in this portion if it's possible?
yes. Jem, Ana, Brian, New Year's Eve 2023, to the best triumvirate ever. Love, Brian, and then the date, December 31st, 2022.
And finally, Ms. Gilman, could we have file number 7224, which has now been admitted as exhibit 259? Sir, do you recognize this side of the box?
Yes, it's my handwriting.
And can you read what you wrote on the box?
Yes. No place I'd rather be but here, New Year's Eve 2022. Jem.
That night, did the oldest child give you anything?
Yes, he did.
What did he give you?
He gave me a necklace.
Now, that night, did you see any injuries on Ana?
No,
Did you have any concerns about her health?
physical health?
Yes.
No.
And that night, do you remember what Brian Walshe told you he had had for income that year in 2022?
Yes, the gist of it was that he had, it was $50,000 or $60,000 that I remember.
And
Yeah.
that night, did he tell you about Ana's compensation that she now had at Tishman Speyer?
Yes, and I believe he said that it was $240,000 plus with bonus it would add up to roughly $300,000.
What problems did you see between the two of them that night?
None. Nothing that was visible. It was a festive night.
And that night, what did Mr. Walsh tell you about his cell phone?
At some point, he said that he had misplaced his phone, and I remember this vividly, that he said that it actually felt refreshing to be away from the phone for a little while.
Did he tell you what time he normally goes to bed?
Yes, because I asked him, because it was getting late, and I didn't want to overstay my welcome. And I believe he said around 9:30, because they were waking up early for the kids.
And so after hearing this, what did you decide to do?
I said I'd better go.
About what time was it when you left the home that night?
I'm going to say it was probably around 1:30. Again, I don't recall with precision, but it was probably around that time.
And now, when you left, did you go right home?
No, I actually stopped at a big shopping mall nearby because I wanted to pick the music home, and I did not want to be driving and picking the music home that night. So I stopped there, and there was, to my recollection, there was nobody else there. Lots of lights around. Yeah.
Before you left that evening, was there any conversation about a work emergency for Ana?
No.
Now, when was it the next time you tried to contact Brian or Ana?
It was the following day.
And how did you try to contact them?
I sent them a text message.
Ms. Gilman, could we have what's been marked as Exhibit 166? Sir, showing you what's been marked as 166, do you see the blue bubble where it says, "I love my necklace"?
I do.
Was that your text to Brian Walshe?
Yes, I believe I had sent it to both of them, both Brian and Ana.
Ms. Gilman, could you scroll all the way up to the top of that document?
Yeah.
So, sir, you see where it says participants?
Yeah.
And so do you believe you sent it to those two,
Yes.
those two other people?
To both Brian and Ana, yes.
And Ms. Gilman, could you scroll down to the top of page 2? Now, I'm sorry, can you scroll down to the top of page 3? There we are. Sir, showing you the top of page 3 from Exhibit 166, there's a green bubble. Do you see that, sir?
I do.
And do you see it says, "Thomas just found my phone"?
I do.
Before January 2nd, had you had any conversations or with Brian Walshe via cell phone?
Before January
Second?
Second,
Yes.
any conversations?
Calls.
No.
And if we could close out of that, Ms. Gilman. Now, when is the next time you spoke to Brian Walshe on the phone?
It was a Wednesday morning.
And what happened Wednesday morning?
It was mid-morning. I remember being on the beach in Nahant and taking a walk, and I received a call from Brian, and he said, "Have you heard from Ana?"
What did you say?
And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, Ana's been missing." And I said, "How could she be missing?" And he said that she left that morning after I had left. She left a few hours later. I think he said around 6:30, that she got in an Uber and left.
And did he say why she left?
Yes, he said that she had a work emergency.
Now, hearing this, did you ask him anything about that?
I did.
What did you ask him?
I said, I was incredulous. I said, what work emergency could there have been on New Year's Eve that, was commercial property? What could it be? I said, listen, did you guys have an argument or something? Did you have a fight?
And what was his response to that statement, sir?
His response was, I do remember this vividly as well. His response was, no, did it look like we had an argument? You were there.
And what did you say to that?
I didn't know what to make of it. I was in shock. So, I said, you've got to call the police, and we've got to alert everybody. We've got to let our community know, and we've got to find her.
Now, what was his tone or like in this conversation? His demeanor?
I remember the tone to be way more even-keeled or way more toned down for somebody who's
Move to strike. All right, not a characterization, but what do you remember of his tone during that call?
his tone was not panicked.
Now, after that call, how often were you speaking to him over the phone the next few days?
We would have spoken a few times. We actually had some group calls with the community, a lot of friends from the leadership program that we had gotten to know well and love.
And,
yeah.
Sir, did you have any text conversations with him as well?
I do not recall.
Okay. Now, sir, since you left the home on New Year's Day of 2023, have you seen Ana Walshe?
No,
Have you heard from her?
no.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the Boston Breakthrough Academy you've spoken about.
Sure.
You said that it was a semester, like about a semester long.
Mm-hmm.
And this Breakthrough Academy, was this for professionals? Was it for anyone?
It was for anyone. It was the premise was to become better human beings and improve on emotional intelligence. And so it was set up in 3 parts. discovery, breakthrough, and leadership. And leadership was by invitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had taken this, I think, did you start in January of 2020?
Yeah,
And Mr. Walsh was in the group with you.
that's correct.
And Ana Walshe had taken this very same program the semester before.
The semester before, correct.
You told us that during this program, Mr. Walsh was your buddy.
That's correct.
And when you say buddy, is this something that the program kind of establishes where they match you up?
That is correct.
Okay. And you had told you that Mr. Walsh sought you out.
That's correct.
And he sought you out because his wife was like, hey, this guy, Jem, this is who you should buddy with.
Objection.
Overruled.
I was just saying that when Mr. Walsh came up to you that day, it was because Ana said, hey, Jem, go, I want you to buddy with Jem.
That's what she told me afterwards.
And at that point, you hadn't met Mr. Walsh before.
Oh, I had. We were in the same program. We were in the same class.
Oh.
The buddy system is introduced during the class after maybe hours or days or thereabouts. I can't remember exactly when it was introduced, but we had interactions. People spoke at times, and
Okay.
we were in the same room.
Okay, let me take a step back. You hadn't met his wife at that point.
I had not met Ana at that time. No,
And when you were in this group in January of 2020, you had been in real estate for quite some time.
that's correct.
And you've told us that that's something that Ana was interested in.
I found out later that she was, yes.
And Mr. Walsh also was interested in investing property.
We talked about investments mostly with Ana.
Okay, when you said we, you meant Mr. Walsh. and yourself.
Ana and I talked about investments mostly with her. She mostly about property investments came from her rather than from Brian.
And she was the one that told Brian to buddy up with you, a realtor, at this program.
That's correct, but that wasn't related to investments.
Okay.
Yeah,
You told us a little bit already, but at some point you did meet Ana.
I did.
And you met Ana through Mr. Walsh from being in that group with him.
That's correct.
Okay. And your experience with Brian in the group was that you became friends with him during that
That's
process. And this is someone that you respected as a colleague.
A colleague? Mm-hmm. In what manner? Brian was not a colleague of mine.
Well, you became friends with him.
That's correct.
And during this program, to you, he was an impactful person.
During the program
Mm-hmm.
and thereafter?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you say impactful person, can you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, first of all, we got very close during the program. I got to meet his family
Mm-hmm.
and Ana, the children, and we got close. We were very good friends. We became very good friends.
Okay. I guess what I don't understand is when you say someone's impactful, does that mean they're a kind person, a powerful person, a loving person?
That they look out for you.
Objection.
I'll see you at the side of the bench.
I want to return to your impressions of Mr. Walsh when you got to know him through that leadership program. You had told us that he became a good friend.
That's correct.
Okay. And then can you tell us more about your experience with him in that program where you had described him as an impactful person?
Sure. It was clear that he was making an effort to show up, and it was the time of COVID, and we all had to pick, collectively, we had to pick as part of the program, a community service project, and Brian pushed hard for us to select everyone chipped in and made a case for different organizations, and this was a nonprofit organization out of Brookline called Loving Spoonfuls, and we ended up raising, well, about I think $80,000, and Brian somehow also was able to, I believe, match those funds. So it ended up becoming $160,000, $170,000 that I recall. And we were told that hundreds of thousands of people were fed as a result. And he was the top fundraiser.
At some point, you had told us that you did meet Brian's wife, Ana.
That's correct.
Where did you first meet her?
I recall having seen her at one of the graduations, mini graduations. It was, again, Discovery Breakthrough. I can't recall which one, but I was hearing about her because we had a mutual friend.
And as you got to know her more, I assumed that the three of you would have dinners together, meet for drinks. Tell me a little bit about how your relationship with all three of them would progress.
The three of us, meaning Ana, Brian, and myself?
Yes.
Well, initially, again, when after Ana started working for me, I remember spending at least one other New Year's with them in those 3 years. So that would have been 2 New Year's spent in 3 years with them. And we've met at their house, Marblehead and Cohasset, and we've socialized in many other ways. But Ana and I spoke practically every day when she worked for me. She would sometimes come to my house in the South End and bring pastries, and we would strategize and talk. And we also had a team. We would meet with other team members, and sometimes, again, we were very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you described, Brian's family as, I think the words you used were you saw them as your own.
I did.
Okay. You had told us just now a time where you were living in the South End.
I was.
And at this time when Ana started working for you, were you married, unmarried?
Unmarried.
Okay. And you had told us that Ana, you were talking every day, right?
That's correct.
And you were talking at night and on the weekends as well?
As the job required, or as our friendship.
And Ana
required.
would come to your home and bring food and spend time with you there?
That's correct.
And was that nighttime, weekends, days, whenever it warranted?
Days, usually. Yeah.
And when Ana was working for you, that you just described, he never complained to you about how much time you were spending with his wife?
Brian? No.
He never complained that you were texting her a lot or spending time with her?
No.
He supported her career with you.
He did?
He was proud of her.
To my recollection, yes, he was.
Am I correct that you and Ana hit it off quickly? It wasn't a slow burn. You really became instant friends with each other.
That's correct. She was very easy to warm up to.
Okay. And part of the reason is that you had similar backgrounds?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And you had already started telling us that at some point she started to work for you.
That's correct.
Okay. And that was in the summer of 2020?
That's correct.
And the director of operations, is basically she became your right hand.
She did.
So a director of operations might be taking care of your social media to arranging. I mean, tell me, I guess, a little bit more. What was she doing for you on a regular basis?
Well, there was, she did everything. A director of operations is truly the right hand of someone who runs a business, and she did everything. She would bring me coffee. She took pride in bringing me coffee. A couple times she dropped off my dry cleaners, which were tasks that were obviously not necessarily in her job description. But I do remember asking her, "Is there anything you wouldn't do?" She came from hospitality, and she took pride. I mean, that's the way she was at our open houses. She would rush to open doors for people. She would give them real glass champagne. She would serve the glass. The way she came out, as I just explained moments ago, the way she came out of the house that night on December 31st to open the door for me, and she was an exceptional employee and friend.
And you valued her employee. She was valuable to you as a friend and an employee.
Very much so.
You relied on her.
Absolutely.
She never said no to you. She did what the job required.
That is not true.
Okay, so tell me about a time she said no to you or disagreed with you.
Well, we did have a disagreement in the fall of 2021. And there were times that she responded to me a couple of times with what I perceived to be passive aggression. And yeah, I actually reached out to a mutual friend and then another friend in leadership to seek some opinions as to how I could handle this.
And did you end up handling it by suspending her for a period of time that fall of 2021?
I told her that she should take a rest, she should stay at home, and that I would continue to pay her for as long as it took, but that she should take some time off because she was also working exceptionally hard, and that was taking a toll on her. She wanted to prove herself. She's like that. So I remember a client of ours
So
actually.
I'm just going to stop you.
Yes.
When you, as you say, suspended or had her take some time off, you still loved her at that point as a friend.
Very much so.
You were still close with her.
Very much so.
It didn't end the personal relationship.
No, not at all. And
And-
it didn't end the professional relationship either.
And during that time, I think you talked about seeking counsel. You actually reached out to Mr. Walsh to talk to him about it specifically.
That's correct.
Because this was, obviously, Ana was important to you professionally
And as a friend, yes.
and
both.
personally.
Yes, absolutely.
And Brian was a close friend of yours,
That is correct.
and you wanted to talk to him and get counsel about how to best move past this.
Yes, we did. We met in the North End. We had a meal and talked about it.
At some point in November of 2021, just about 2 months after the incident you just described, Ana told you that she was thinking about taking a job somewhere else.
That's correct.
And your first response was that you were disappointed.
Yes,
You were sad about this.
I was.
Because in your mind, you guys were really going to partner up and continue to grow together.
Was the idea, yes.
And because you were upset and sad, Mr. and Mrs. Walsh actually had you over to their home to talk about this further,
That is correct.
to let you know that they cared about you and loved you,
That's correct.
and that this is what was best for Ana
That's correct.
and what was best for the family.
That's correct.
And during this conversation, when Ana was telling, or they were both telling you about her new job, and you were sad about it, Brian said to you, buddy, you got to support her, right?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the job that she ended up taking. Am I correct that it was at Tishman Spire in Washington, D.C.?
That's correct.
And this was a big job.
That's correct.
I think you already told us how much she was making, but this was a big salary job, a big step for her.
That's correct.
And this was an opportunity for her, a growth opportunity.
Yes,
And that is something that you and her had talked about, growth and opportunity, right?
that's correct.
It was something important to you,
Absolutely.
and it was something important to Ana.
Absolutely.
And through your time in becoming friends with Mr. Walsh, it was important to him as well.
That's correct.
And they had small children.
That's correct.
Okay. And part of this transition was the family eventually moving to Washington, D.C.
That was the idea.
And this transition was not only for Ana's job, but Mr. Walsh's uncle was also moving to the D.C., Virginia area at the time, so there'd be more family down there.
That's what I was told, and that his mother would also move.
So his mother, again, you just said it was also interested in moving to that area.
Yeah.
And Ana was going to go down first, and the plan was obviously to start establishing not just professional contacts, but personal contacts,
That's correct.
because they were going to bring their boys down there.
That's correct.
And you had told us that Ana was also interested in investing in real estate.
That's correct.
And at this point, am I correct that it is the fall of 2021, winter of 2022?
That's right.
Okay. And at this point, you had learned that Mr. Walsh had a pending federal case going on.
I had, yes.
And I want to talk to you just a little bit about your experience with the federal case, okay?
Yes.
Because you had become close to both Mr. and Mrs. Walsh, you actually attended one or two of the hearings. And you went to support Brian,
I did.
and you went also to support Ana,
That's correct.
because this was difficult for both of them.
It was.
And Mr. Walsh's mother was there,
That's correct.
and I believe there were other friends of Ana and
Yes.
Brian who had gone.
That is correct.
All right. And one of the hearings that you were going to, you were standing next to Ana,
I was sitting next to Ana.
and Ana's your friend, you told us, right?
That's correct.
She was your right hand at your business for a while.
That's correct.
And you're there in federal court with her for her husband's case.
That's correct.
And out of support, you reach over and you grab her hand to hold it
That's correct.
because she's your friend and you love her.
Yes, that's correct.
And she clutched your hand back.
Yes, that's correct.
And
It was a very tense moment just before the judge's declaration, or
okay.
Yeah.
And so you were being a good friend.
I believe so.
Okay. And let me just switch gears for a moment. I think you've already kind of said it, but Mr. Walsh was never jealous of your relationship with Ana?
I don't believe so.
Well, you say I don't believe so. Ana never told you that Brian was uncomfortable or jealous of your relationship with her?
She never said that, no.
And Brian never came to you and complained about the long hours or the friendship with her?
She did not.
I'll see you at the side of the bench.
At this hearing, when you were there to support your friends, I was asking you about when you were sitting there holding Anna's hand. And you had told us that Brian's mother, Diana, was there at the same time.
That's correct.
And was she sitting with you?
She was sitting, that I recall, at the end of that row near the aisle.
Okay. And you had a conversation with Ana about Diana's observations of you holding her hand that day at her husband's hearing. Right?
That's correct.
And Ana informed you that Diana was upset that you were holding her hand.
That's correct.
Sustained. The answer's stricken.
Throughout the time, the 2020 through 2022, you had a chance again to spend a lot of time with Mr. and Mrs. Walsh.
That's correct.
And you talked to Ana a lot about her relationship and her marriage and being a mother.
Yeah.
And during those conversations and your observations, Ana told you that Brian wasn't the jealous type.
That's correct.
And at some point, while Ana was working for you, she confessed that she had a crush on you.
She said that, yeah, maybe. I don't recall specifically those words coming out. But
Would
yeah.
looking at a copy of your interview from January of 2023 help refresh your memory?
Sure.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Page 53.
Counsel.
Oh, I might. I sent these to you guys, so I don't know what to tell you.
Can I just see your face?
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Okay. I think I got it. Thank you.
Just going to approach you. Is it fair to say that that's your name on that front page?
Yes.
And then I'm just going to have you look at that first page to yourself, just to recognize it's the beginning of your statement.
That's correct. Yeah.
And I'm just going to refer you, and you can just read to yourself and take as much time as you need.
Sure.
And just look up at me when you're done.
For sure. Yeah. From the top, from the top of the page.
Until the bottom, until
Sure. So we actually started.
Read to yourself.
Read to yourself and look up when you're done.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just going to come take that back. Does reviewing that portion of your statement refresh your memory as to whether Ana had told you that she had a crush on you?
I object to this line of question, Your Honor.
He can answer it. If it refreshes his memory, it does. If it
I
doesn't,
don't
it doesn't.
recall Ana telling me that she had a crush on me.
Okay. When you were working together and Ana was there, you had mentioned that you had other people working with you and for you.
That's correct.
And at some point, you developed a close relationship with another female coworker,
That's correct.
and I'm assuming it became romantic.
Objection.
Sustained.
So you don't have any memory of Ana Walshe telling you that at some point she was a little jealous of that coworker and had a crush on you?
Objection.
Sustained.
She developed feelings for you.
Objection.
Sustained.
Ana Walshe told you that she told her husband that she had a crush
I'll
on
see you
you.
at the side of the bench.
You had mentioned that when Ana stopped working for you, you guys still stayed in touch.
That's correct.
So it wasn't an everyday type of thing, but you would still talk and text.
That's correct.
And she started working in D.C. for Tishman Speyer in February or March of 2022?
Thereabouts, but there was some overlap when she was still taking care of business for me, because
Okay.
that's the kind of human being and employee she was.
And during the time that she was working both jobs, was she living in D.C. or was she still in Boston when she was doing that?
I believe she was coming and going from DC at that time.
Okay. And After she left and you would speak, would it be fair that she would also consult you about professional decisions, strategies, what to do?
We would talk about that. We would talk about things, yeah.
Okay, and you would also ask her for her advice?
Sure.
And this is a person that you would consider a confidant? A confidant?
A confidant, sure.
Okay.
Sure, absolutely.
And obviously, she was one of yours and you were one of hers.
That's correct. Often I've called her the sister I never had.
Okay,
One of the sisters I never had.
okay.
Yeah. She was an exceptional human being.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You had told us a little bit about a conversation on the 29th that you had with her,
Yes.
and you had said that being apart and going back and forth was hard on the family. It was hard on her.
That's what I recall.
Okay. And you had told us that in the winter of 2022 that Ana was making about $300,000 at her new job?
With bonus, that's what I was told. I didn't know about it at the time, but it came up in conversation that night
Okay.
on December 31st.
Okay. And you also told us Mr. Walsh was making about 50 or 60 grand a year?
That's what I was told. That's what I remember.
And he also was interested in participating in investing in small businesses?
Correct.
On the phone call on the 29th, you had said that Ana invited you over for New Year's?
That's correct.
And I think you said it, that she knew you, that you would probably just be at home, not doing anything.
That is correct.
And on that phone call, she didn't say, let me check with Brian first.
I don't recall.
All right. Was Brian on the phone with her?
No.
Did she say,
Well,
I'll
I don't
call
know.
you back and
No,
confirm?
no, Brian was not on the phone with her. No,
And
absolutely.
this was to come to her home and spend time with her husband and their 3 children.
That's correct.
And I think you had said earlier today that you had spent another New Year's Eve with them.
That is correct.
Was that the one right preceding this one or another one?
I think it was 2 New Years before. So
Okay.
I think there was one in between where I did not spend the New Year's with them.
And that prior New Year's, was that out somewhere or was that at their
It was
home?
out. It was out at a restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you had said that during this call she was upbeat. Well, let me back up. You had called to tell her that she had just sold a property, right?
That's correct. The purpose of my call was to congratulate her on the fact that she was going to do this 1031 exchange program and reinvest and grow financially.
Okay.
But also to catch up with her, also to hear her voice and see how she's doing.
Okay. So let me just talk to you a little bit about the tax 1030 that you just described. She had owned a property in Revere,
That's correct.
and you helped sell her. You helped sell it.
Well, yes, technically, yes, my team did, but I wasn't directly involved in the sale. My teammate handled it all.
Okay.
So I wasn't privy to the day-to-day of the sale.
Okay.
And that's actually why I called her at the end. I said, well, geez, we accomplished something here.
Okay.
And
So let me just ask
Happy
you a
for
little
you.
bit more.
yeah,
You explained that with this process, instead of taking the proceeds, you can just roll it right into another property.
that's correct.
What were the proceeds on the sale from this Revere house?
I do not remember.
Was it over 50? Was it $1 million, roughly?
No, it was a smaller condo. It certainly
Okay.
wouldn't have been $1 million. No, it wasn't. It was several $100,000. Yeah.
Okay. And so instead of taking those proceeds on December 29th of 2022, the decision was made to roll it into another property.
That's correct. And she would have had 45 days to declare another property or another 2 or 3 properties, up to 3 properties, and would have 180 days to close on 1, 2, or 3 of them
Okay.
to satisfy the the requirements of the program.
Okay. You mentioned a name on direct examination I'd like to talk to you a little bit about. You used the name Will or William Fasto.
That's correct.
And in 2022, you had known Will for about 20 years?
Thereabouts, yes. Correct.
And you guys were both in real estate, and that's how you met him?
That's correct. He was in real estate in Boston first, and then D.C.
Okay. And when Brian and Ana were looking to relocate to Washington, D.C. for her job, they wanted to buy a family home down there.
That's correct.
And you hooked both of them up with Will, the realtor.
That is correct.
And would it also be fair that it would be nice for Ana to have a personal and a friend down there going down to D.C. with no one else at the time?
That's correct.
And again, you had told us that she was looking into investing in more real estate as investment properties.
That's correct.
And during this process, Brian Walshe and Will Fasto really just had a professional relationship, no friendship.
I don't know what kind of relationship they had. I'm not privy to the details of their relationship.
Okay. But through your conversation...
You're talking about Brian Walshe, correct?
Yes.
Brian Walshe and Will Fasto.
Yes.
I'm not privy to the conversations they had or... Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you knew that you had introduced both Mr. Walshe and Ana to Will for the purpose of finding a family home.
As far as I'm concerned, I had introduced the family, the Walshe family,
Thank you.
to Will Fasto.
Okay. And at some point, Ana told you that she had become good friends with Will Fasto.
That's correct.
And I think you told us a little bit about a phone call you had with her on December 29th.
That's correct.
Ana Walshe never told you that she was romantically involved with Will Fasto.
No.
She never told you that she was going to leave Mr. Walshe for Will Fasto.
No.
And she never told you that she had more than platonic feelings for Mr. Fasto.
Not particularly, but she was, I mean, emotions are complex. I knew they had gotten close,
Okay.
but she never told me that she had a relationship with Will Fasto.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to return to her relationship
That I
with...
can recall.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to return to Ana and Brian's relationship for a few minutes.
Sure.
You had told us that you spent time with them both together as a family,
That's correct.
and you also spent time with them individually without the other one.
That is correct.
And when you spent time with them together, you never really saw them argue.
I don't recall having seen them argue.
And they were a couple that you've described as in sync with each other.
I would say so. That I always thought that there was a lot of love between them, and that she was very much in love with Brian. Yeah.
Sometimes each one would come to you individually if they had any disagreements with each other, though. You were their friend collectively and independently.
That's correct.
And sometimes Ana would confide in you,
That's correct.
and sometimes Brian would confide in you.
That's correct.
And you obviously would keep their confidences because you were their friend individually and collectively.
That is correct.
And as you told us that you introduced the family to Will Fasto. Yes?
Yes.
So Mr. Walshe knew that you were friends with Will Fasto.
I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at no time did Brian Walshe ever pepper you with questions?
Objection.
Sustained.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about New Year's Eve. Earlier that day, did you exchange some text messages with Ana Walshe to confirm that you were coming over that night?
I did.
And you were looking forward to spending time over there.
Very much so.
Looking forward to hopefully seeing the kids.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing Ana.
Yes.
And looking forward to seeing Brian.
That's correct.
And I think you told us that when you first arrived, that even as you're pulling in the driveway, Ana is running towards you, no coat on, and just throws herself in your arms.
That's correct.
And you were excited to see her.
Yes.
And she was obviously excited to see you.
Yes.
And you said it was cold out.
Yes.
And you guys were laughing as she's running towards you.
Yes.
And then you walk in the house together.
That's correct.
And are you walking hand in hand and talking because you haven't seen each other in a while? Well, you said she ushered you into the house.
That's correct. She was receiving a guest into the house.
Okay. But was she excited to see you? Was she holding on to your
She
arm?
was very excited to see me. We gave each other a hug,
Okay.
and then we walked into the house.
And when you walked into the house, you went into the kitchen and Mr. Walsh was there.
That's correct.
And he embraced
I don't remember whether Brian was at the door, was in the kitchen. He was there. Yeah.
Okay. And when you saw him, he embraced you in a hug.
Absolutely.
And it was just the three of you.
Initially, yes.
Could I trouble you to please bring up exhibit number 3? And is this correct, as I'm showing everyone exhibit number 3, that this was the Walsh family kitchen in Cohasset on December 31st?
Yes.
And we see some stools at the kitchen table. You and Ana were sitting next to each other?
That's correct.
And am I correct that Mr. Walsh was cooking for everyone?
That's correct.
And so the stove and oven is to the right there of the table?
Yes.
Okay. And when you first got there, the kids were asleep?
That's correct.
Okay. And when you first got there, Mr. Walsh is cooking food?
Yes. Preparing, yeah, cooking, yeah.
No, I don't want to cut you off.
Sure, preparing, cooking, yeah,
And Ana and Brian are getting you some champagne,
that's correct.
and everyone's toasting to the new year.
Yes,
Okay. And I think you've already said this, but the atmosphere was jovial.
that's correct.
Hope for the upcoming year.
That's true.
There were discussions how 2022 had been a little difficult for all three of you.
That's true.
And it was great to be together because you made it. And now you're looking into a new year with new hope and new possibilities.
That's correct.
The champagne bottle that all three of you signed, that was the spirit that New Year, so happy to be together, aren't we lucky?
Yes,
And as you're sitting at that kitchen table, you're having conversations about investment properties.
we were.
You're having conversations about book reviews and what books everyone should read.
Yes,
And you told us that Ana is texting people. You said it's New Year's Eve, so she's getting texts, she's sending texts.
yes,
And as you're sitting at that table, she's snapping pictures with just the two of you.
meaning just the two of us, meaning Ana and I. I do recall, I have received a photo of the three of us with Ana and their oldest son,
Okay, but...
a selfie, yeah.
Sure, no, I don't mean to cut you off, but during that night, she has her phone out, she's taking pictures of just the two of you, just Ana and Jem, to memorialize the night. It's a celebration.
Oh, it's the two, oh, I see. Well, the two of us and Brian,
All three of you together.
all three of us together, correct.
Okay. And in that picture, you're smiling, you're embracing each other.
Yes,
And Brian's preparing food, and he's serving you all the food he's making, the different dishes, right?
yes,
And he's serving it to his wife, Ana.
yes,
And they're talking to each other during the night.
yes, they are.
And they're laughing with each other during the night.
Yes,
And they're taking pictures with each other during the night.
I don't know if they were taking pictures with each other during the night. I don't recall.
But there was the picture of the three of you embracing and smiling.
That's the three of us with Brian? Was that what you're asking? Was there a picture of Ana, Brian, and myself that night? I don't recall. I recall one picture, and that's with Ana and their oldest son. That was Tom.
Okay.
Correct.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about the conversations that you were having that night.
Sure.
At some point, Ana showed you a new ring that she had. It was a diamond ring,
That is correct.
and it was quite large.
They said it was a valuable ring. Yeah.
And I believe Ana told you that it was worth several $100,000.
Objection.
Jurors, I think it'd be a nice time for you to take your morning break.
Jurors exiting, all rise. Jurors, please leave your notebooks in the chairs. Watch your step. Stand up in the circle.
Sure. Thank you.
Take step down. You may step down. You can go right back outside. And you may be seated, everyone else. Yes. He's gone.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm not seeing the relevance of going down this road.
An answer for her, for counsel, but go ahead.
Your Honor, the government has represented to this jury that one of the motives was financial.
All right. How much longer will this witness you expect?
Myself?
Yes.
I can't imagine it goes more than 15 minutes.
All right. I won't hold you to it.
Okay.
Keepers next? Or probation officer? All right. Have a good break.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Court's now in session. Turn off the cell phone.
Oh, the witness back on the stand?
Just watch your step. Sure.
Thank you.
And have a seat. Just remind you, keep your voice up for me, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Just going to pick up a little bit where we left off. During the night that you were describing, at one point, Ana was showing you her,
Yes,
and she was happy about it.
that's
And
correct.
she was telling you that Brian had got her this ring,
That's correct.
and he was smiling.
Yes,
And you told us that during the night, because it's New Year's Eve, Anna's texting people and she's getting text messages while you guys are in that kitchen.
that's correct.
Could I please have Exhibit 3 again? Thank you. And during the time that you were there, am I correct that it was about 5 hours you spent that night? I think you said 8:30 to 1:30?
Roughly 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you weren't drunk, right?
No,
They weren't drunk?
no.
The champagne was free flowing, so to speak, but everyone was just happy and tipsy.
Yeah,
And during the night, there are, you had mentioned there was food being served, conversations about the future, and Ana was getting text messages from people, and she was sending text messages to people.
that's correct.
And while you're sitting in that kitchen, the three of you, at some point, she says, let's send a picture to Will.
I believe that's what she said. I'm not 100% sure. I believe that's what she said. Yeah. Yeah.
And after that, you stayed for quite a bit after that.
Again, I don't remember at what part of the evening that, oh, actually, I do, because I would have, because this would have been exactly when their oldest son was awake. So it would have been towards the beginning. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so you stayed for several hours after that, right?
that's correct.
And during the night, everyone continued to be jovial, I believe you described,
That's correct.
drinking champagne,
That's right.
laughing with each other.
That's correct.
And I think you had told us on direct that at some point, Brian had told you that he had lost his phone,
That he had misplaced his phone.
misplaced his phone. And I think you had said that he told you it was liberating not to have it.
That's correct.
And he was kind of laughing about how free it felt not to be on a cell phone.
That was the gist of it. Correct.
At some point on January 4th, you had a conversation with Brian over the phone?
Was that a Wednesday? If
I
it
don't
is-
have a calendar out, but I think you had said, I appreciate everyone quickly moving.
So the first was a Sunday.
2, 3, 4.
Because
So-
yes, on Wednesday I did. Yes, I received a call from Brian.
And on that call, you had just seen them at about 1:30 on New Year's Eve, so about not even 4 days before.
That's correct.
And he had told you that he hadn't spoken to her in several days and that she was missing.
That's correct.
And I think you told us on direct that you were in shock. It didn't make sense to you,
That's correct.
that you were just with them.
That's correct.
And you said to Brian, did you guys have an argument? Did you have a disagreement, right?
I did.
And you asked him that repeatedly.
I don't know if I asked him that repeatedly. I did ask him that question.
And he said to you, no. Like, did it look like we had an argument? You were there.
That's correct.
Because it didn't make sense to you that they hadn't spoken in days, right?
That's correct. And it also didn't make sense to me that she would leave shortly after I left. There was, yeah.
And so given that, it didn't make sense to you. You were there until 1:30. They weren't arguing.
They weren't arguing. No.
You said the night was joyful.
That's correct.
They were happy.
That's correct.
And from everything you saw and what you've told us, they were in love.
Well, they were happy is a loaded statement, I think.
let me-
I mean, they seemed happy that night, but people are complex. So I want to make sure that I answer that question truthfully.
No, I appreciate that.
So
Let me ask you this.
I did know a couple days in advance that
So let me
she.
just stop you for a minute,
Thank
okay?
you. Sure.
You've been a realtor for 23 years,
25 years now.
25 years. So you're a salesperson, right? In a sense, one of the aspects of your job is to sell properties, right?
That's correct.
And would you say that one of your greatest assets is to be able to read people?
That's true.
Understand
To listen, to understand. Yes,
And I think you just said people are complex.
that's correct.
And so you in your professional job, part of it is to kind of be able to understand those complexities.
Yes,
To see if someone is maybe putting on a brave face or holding back, right?
sure.
And you had known Ana and Brian Walshe as a married couple for almost 3 years at that point, right?
That's correct.
And you have spent time with them together. You said that their family was like your family, right?
Sure.
And you had spent time with Brian by himself.
I hadn't seen Brian in months at that point.
But
And
you-
I hadn't also only seen Ana physically. I hadn't seen Ana physically in months.
Okay. But in the past, in those times that you have described them as family, as close friends, you had spent time with Brian Walshe, just one-on-one.
Yes, I had.
You would spend time with Ana, just one-on-one.
That's correct.
She worked for you, and you described that you would be in touch all day, every day when she was working for you, right?
I can't say it was every single day, but
Okay,
it
well,
was
you brought pastries to your home in the South End,
sure,
right?
sure. Yeah,
And you told us that she was your confidant and you were hers, right?
that's correct.
You went through an intense program with Mr. Walsh, right?
That's correct.
And you spent 5 hours with him on New Year's Eve on December 31st of 2022, right?
That's correct.
And you described the night as joyful,
Jovial.
jovial, as full of hope. And
I'm not sure.
Before the break, that everyone was hopeful and looking towards the new year.
I'm not sure that I would describe it as hopeful for the new year. specifically, if you had to ask me specifically as to what the mood was, whether she was, because I had heard a couple days prior.
I'm going to stop you.
Sure.
You all signed the champagne bottle, right? You took a,
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And that's where the complexity comes into play. I cannot know what was going on in their hearts and minds. Yeah. Of course. Thank you.
I understand,
Of course.
sir. I'm
Yeah.
talking about those complexities.
Sure.
You said that everyone was laughing that night together, right?
Yeah. There was a good mood that night.
Good mood that
Yeah.
night. You never saw them argue, right?
I did not.
You said at one point that you saw them talking and laughing with each other, right?
Sure. Yes, I did.
And at one point, Thomas came downstairs and they didn't shoo him back up to bed. It was happy to have their son together with you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And when Brian was cooking for you, he was even putting a Turkish flair on some of the foods to
That's-
specifically for you, right?
That's correct. I remember him saying that. Yeah.
And at 1:30 when you left, they weren't even telling you to leave. You just realized it was late and you should go.
That is also correct.
And so when you heard that Brian was telling you that he hadn't spoken to his wife in 3 days, that did not make sense to you.
It did not.
Because when you left at 1:30 in the morning, it was a joyful, happy occasion. I'm using your words. It was a joyful, happy occasion on New Year's Eve of January 31st, 2022.
I didn't understand how Ana could be missing and how we did not know about this since the first of the year. It had been 3 days,
So when you
and our community had not been correct. We had not known about this for 3 days. I did not understand,
Okay.
and the tone of voice was not panicked.
So let me just ask you my question again.
Yes,
Let me
thank you.
know if I'm not phrasing it right.
Please.
When you left the house
Yes.
of your good friends
Yes.
on January 31st of January 1st now at 1:30 in the morning,
Yes.
the mood was joyful and happy.
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Redirect.
I think I'll be brief, Your Honor. Sir, you said you had heard a couple days prior. Had you heard from Ana a couple days prior? When you were saying about people being complex.
Your Honor, I apologize. I could be just losing my hearing. I can't hear Mr. Connor.
And I'm talking into my shoulder, so that's my fault. Sir, when you were saying people are complex and you had heard a couple days prior, are you referring to your conversation with Ana a couple days prior?
Yes, I was. I am.
What is it that you heard in your conversation a couple days prior that makes you say that people are complex?
That they had marital problems.
Objection, move to strike the characterization.
All right, and I'm going to remind you, sir, I'm going to strike the marital problems, the characterization, but you can, without characterizing, you can discuss what you recall her saying, even if you don't remember the exact
Sure.
words.
I recall.
Let me state the question again.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Understanding what Her Honor said as far as what Ana was saying,
Sure.
what is it that you heard in that conversation that you just said that people are complex?
Well, if I may I explain?
I think you can't, sir. I think you have to stay with just what Ana said to you.
Sure.
When you state what Ana said to you. If you can't, that's okay. But if you can state what Ana said to you, that's my question.
On the 29th,
Yes.
when we had that phone conversation,
Yes, sir.
she told me that there were cracks in the relationships. And I don't know which words. She may have used precisely those words. She may have used other words.
Be seen sidebar objection, and I'm going to move to strike that testimony.
I'll hear you at the sidebar before I make any ruling on that. Let's try that question again.
So, sir, and I know it's been 3 years.
It has been.
To the best of your recollection, what I'm asking you is on that December 29th conversation, to the best of your recollection, what did Ana Walshe say to you that led you to say that people are complex?
Okay. The complexity I'm referring to is the fact that on the 29th,
Okay.
she gave me information. I cannot recall the exact words. She gave me information that she was having problems in her marriage with Brian.
Can Your Honor move to strike?
To the best of your recollection, what did she say?
Well, again, it's been 3 years, Your Honor.
If you have a recollection, you do, and if you don't, sir, that's fine too.
I remember what was discussed at the conversation. I just don't remember the exact words. I did give my testimony when it was very fresh.
And I know we're
Yeah,
all
I understand. Sure.
jumping in the middle. And
Sure.
And sir, it's just because we want to make sure we get it right.
Okay.
All right. So you had the conversation with Ana on the 29th.
That's correct.
Do you remember what she said? And if you don't, you don't. It's okay. Do you remember what she said that makes you think that people are complex?
Well, it's not what she said that night that makes me think that people are complex. I know people are
Your Honor, move
complex.
to strike. Maybe
All right,
we
I'll
should
strike
have
the
said that.
end, redirect the witness to the time frame.
All right. So just on December 29th,
Yeah.
what did she say to you as far as your concerns about her being...
I don't recall the exact words.
Okay, that's... Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Any recross?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mutlu.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
The Commonwealth would call Marlene Ramdahal.
You can call me, please. Please, sir, raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You can just follow me, please. Just take your time. Just watch your step.
Thank you.
Please.
You may proceed.
Your Honor, could you please state your name for the record?
Good afternoon, Marlene Ramdahal.
And can you please spell your name for the record?
Yes, Marlene, Marlenny. Last name Ramdehal.
And what is your occupation, ma'am?
I am a senior U.S. probation officer.
And what is your jurisdiction?
The District of Massachusetts,
Where is your office located?
in time,
And how long have you been a federal probation officer?
approximately 12 years.
Are you familiar with Brian Walshe?
I am.
And how long have you known Mr. Walshe?
Since November of 2021?
And that's when you first met him?
Yes.
And how often did you see him?
Approximately once every 60 days
And how did you see him?
at his residence or at my office.
And can you please identify him for the record?
Mr. Walsh in the black sweater.
Thank you. Your Honor, might the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant?
The record will so reflect.
In January of 2023 and December of 2022, was Mr. Walshe, the defendant, subject to conditions set by a federal district court?
He was.
And what were those conditions?
He was subject to a number of conditions, to include home confinement, which limited his movement in the community.
When was the defendant authorized to leave his home?
He was authorized to leave his residence with a pre-scheduled pass, so he would have to ask permission before leaving his home.
Did he have set windows that he was allowed to leave?
He did.
And what was he required to do before leaving his home?
Prior to leaving his residence, he would have to have an approved schedule.
And who would approve that schedule?
I would.
Where was he allowed to go?
A client on the home confinement program is only allowed to leave the resident for essential necessities. So things such as employment, education, religion, treatment, attorney visits, court-appointed activities. He was also allowed to do things such as grocery shop, banking, grooming, things of that nature. He also had permission to do things with his children and his mother.
So what did he need to do as far as specifying where he would go?
So on Thursdays, he was to submit schedules to me with what essential necessities would be required for the following week.
And how would he do that?
He would send me an email.
Okay. And what email did he use?
brw@tensaleconsulting.com.
What permission did he have to leave the state?
He did not have permission to leave the state.
You said that he was allowed to go for necessities. Is a restaurant considered a necessity?
No, it is not.
What did he have to do if he wanted to deviate from the schedule that he had submitted on Thursdays, I believe you said?
Correct. Yeah, if there was a change to the schedule, he would be required to submit a new schedule request.
And how would he do that?
Again, via email.
And who would he do that to?
Myself.
So I want to ask you about Friday, January 6th of 2023. Did you see the defendant that day in person?
I did.
Okay. And what contact did you receive from him requesting permission for his window for the following week?
On January 6th, Mr. Walshe submitted a schedule for Wednesday the 11th. He requested a haircut appointment from 1:30 to 3:15. He also requested a pass for the 12th to meet with his probate attorney from 10:30 to 3:15.
What contact did you have from the defendant on January 5th of 2023?
On January 5th, Mr. Walshe contacted me to inform me of law enforcement contact, which is required by his conditions of release. He also notified me that his wife, Ana, was missing.
What was his window of release on Thursday, January 5th?
On January 5th, he had a reoccurring schedule to drop off his children between 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. He then had a pass to assist his mother with some errands from 10:15 to 1:30. And then he had a reoccurring schedule to pick up his children from 3:45 to 6:15.
And the morning schedule and the afternoon schedule, was that a set recurring schedule?
Correct, Monday through Friday.
And was the middle, the time that he was with his mother, was that also a recurring time, or was that something he had just requested?
He had just requested it the week prior.
And what was the window of release for Wednesday, January 4th?
The 4th would have been drop off children from 8 to 10:30. Then he had a reoccurring groceries schedule from 11 to 1:30, and again, pickup of the children from 3:15 to 6:45.
So that was all prearranged?
Correct, yes.
And what was the window of release on Tuesday, January 3rd?
Tuesday, drop off children, 8 to 10:30. Pick up children 3:15 to 6:45, and he had a reoccurring schedule as well to get his trash out, and that was from 7:50 to 8:20, I believe.
In the evening?
In the evening, sorry.
Okay. And why did he need that for the trash?
Because it wasn't on his property.
Okay. And what was the window of release for Monday, January 2nd of 2023?
On Monday the 2nd, he only had pickup and drop off of the children, so 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., and then pickup from 3:15 to 6:45.
Okay. But did you receive some information about an unauthorized leave for that day?
I did.
And when was that?
Approximately 3:53 p.m.
And did you speak to him?
I did.
And what contact did you have with him?
I reached out to him to ask him about the unauthorized leave, and he indicated that he was picking up his children per usual.
Okay. And in fact, the 3:15 to 6:45, was that authorized for Monday, January 2nd, 2023, being a holiday?
It was, because there was no notification that school was not in session.
And what was the window of release on Sunday, January 1st of 2023?
On the 1st, he had submitted a request to return his mother home from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And what do you mean return his mother home?
He indicated that his mother was staying with him post-surgery, and he was taking her back to her residence.
And when was that window established?
That would have been the week prior, so I want to say December 22nd.
And where did he indicate that he would be returning his mother?
To her residence.
And where was that, if you know?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. And at that point, did he ask permission to go to a restaurant?
He did not.
For January 1st of 2023?
He did not.
And was the defendant allowed to go places if he had not cleared it with you first?
He was not allowed to do any unapproved stops.
If I might have one moment.
You may.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-exam.
Yes, thank you. Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So did I hear you right that said the Mr. Walsh asked to be able to go 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Sunday, January 1st? He asked that the prior week of December 22nd.
That is correct.
And there were, to go out to a restaurant, that would have been correct?
It would need court approval. Probation does not have the authority to approve non-essential necessities.
So you'd have to go through a court process that take quite a while to go through the federal court process?
It's a motion to the court, so it's just a documentation that needs to be submitted.
But it has to be filed, it has to be decided, it has to be returned.
That is correct.
So, and there's always the chance that it wouldn't be allowed.
Correct.
So if somebody like Mr. Walsh wanted to take his wife out to a restaurant for New Year's Day, there's a chance that he wouldn't be permitted and get permission to take his wife to a New Year's Day dinner, even if he had filed a request.
There is that chance, correct.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any redirect?
No redirects, thank you.
The witness may step down.
Thank you.
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Commonwealth would call Anthony McCrenna.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give in the cause now in hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Take your time, just watch your step. Slide this chair right there a little more. You can have a seat. Pull the chair a little closer. Do me a favor, just keep your voice up when you speak.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Sure, it's Tony Macrina, M-A-C-R-I-N-A,
Where do you work, sir?
Home Depot.
And what do you do for Home Depot?
I am a district asset protection manager.
And what are your responsibilities as a district asset protection manager?
I help increase profitability by mitigating losses and creating a safe work environment for the associates and customers.
How long have you been with Home Depot?
Currently 4.5 years.
And how in that time you've always been a district asset protection manager?
Yes.
And what is your district?
It's considered southeastern Mass, so it's approximately 10 stores in that area.
All right. Does that include Rockland?
Yes.
Sir, have you had the opportunity to help produce a receipt and videos to law enforcement in January 2023 in this matter?
Yes,
And have you had the opportunity to review both of those prior to today?
I did.
Sir, as far as the videos that are maintained at Home Depot, are they done in the normal course of business?
Yes, they are.
Are they done in good faith?
Yes,
And the videos, I take it they're recorded digitally?
correct.
So when they're recorded as it's happening to a server, correct?
Yes.
What access do you have to the server?
I remote in, but using a laptop or a computer.
Okay. Can anyone have access to it?
Just anybody who works within the asset protection department.
And sir, the videos that you had a chance to review, did you look at a thumb drive and then sign the back of it?
Yes.
You may?
Sure, I'm showing you a thumb drive. Do you see it?
Yes,
And do you see your initials in the back?
I do.
Were these the videos you had a chance to review prior to today to confirm that they were the videos you had turned over from the store depot on January 2nd in Rockland?
Yes, they were.
So you can have the thumb drive marked next to your arm?
Any objection to that?
No objection.
The Home Depot thumb drive, now in evidence is 260.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the Commonwealth publish some of the videos from the Home Depot thumb drive?
Yes?
Ms. Gilman, could we have the video Home Depot entering? If we could press pause. Mr. McCrenna, can you see the video on the screen?
Yes.
Where is this in the Home Depot?
This is a shot of the doorway where most customers after purchasing would walk out. So the main exit, we call this.
The main exit. Now, at the bottom of the screen, there's a date and time. Are the dates and times accurate on the Home Depot videos?
Yes, they are.
And to be clear, this is Rockland, right?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. If you could close out that. And Ms. Gilman, could we have pro exit purchasing? And Ms. Gilman, if you could go to 107 on this. Thank you. Sir, where is this location in Home Depot in Rockland?
This is on one side of the store. We call it the pro exit. So generally, this is where the lumber is purchased, and it's usually a bigger space so that you can get those bigger carts through the doorway.
Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McCrenna, I'm showing you a document. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Is that the receipt that corresponds to the video we just saw?
Yes.
How are you able to find a receipt to correspond to the video?
I was given an item number from the state police.
And so then you look up the item number?
Looked up the item number, and it brings me right to this transaction. The two are tied together.
And so the receipts are kept in the normal course of business?
Yes.
In good faith?
Yes.
And you turn this over to the police in January 2023?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to have the receipt from Home Depot for January 2nd as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection.
The receipt that corresponds to 260 is now in evidence as 261.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish 261?
You may.
Thank you. Looking at the top of it, sir, what is the address of the store?
1149 Hingham Street, Rockland, Massachusetts.
And what is the significance of Register 3?
Register 3 is the register number that was shown in the video where those purchases were made.
And Ms. Gilman, could we scroll down to the bottom? Actually, stay right there, Ms. Gilman. Sir, on A&H baking soda, what is that?
That is a 12-pound bag of baking soda. It was the one that was on the bottom of the cart.
Home Depot sells 12 pounds of baking soda?
Yes.
And then what is the date and the time of the transaction?
The date is 1/2 of 2023 at 5:01 and 47 seconds p.m.
What was the amount for the transaction?
The amount was $453.54.
And was it cash or charge?
Cash.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any cross? The witness may step down.
Thank you.
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Thank you. Commonwealth would call Callie Roy, Paleo Logos.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in the cause now in hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You can be seated.
Take your time, just watch your step, okay? You can have a seat. Hold the chair a little closer. Just do me a favor, just keep your voice up when you speak, okay? Thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Could you bring that microphone a little bit closer to you? It will help keep things loud.
That better?
Much better. Okay. Could you state your name and spell your first and last name for us?
Kaliroy Paleologos, Kaliroi, last name PalaIologos.
Where do you work, ma'am?
I work at Beacon Communities, more specifically Chatham West and the Pines.
And what is Chatham West?
It's a housing residential apartment complex.
Where is Chatham West located?
Brockton, Massachusetts.
And what do you do there?
I'm a property manager.
And as the property manager, do you have access to their surveillance videos?
Yes, sir, I do.
And as far as the surveillance videos, how many cameras do they have on the exterior of their building?
Approximately 25 back in 23.
In January of 2023, how many units were at Chatham West?
507.
507? Mm-hmm. So it's a really large
Yes,
complex. What does Chatham West have for dumpsters in January 2023?
About 21 dumpsters.
And what access does the general public have to the dumpsters in January 2023?
They're open to the public.
Okay. Now, In January 2023, did you have the opportunity to produce surveillance videos to law enforcement?
Yes, I did.
And have you had the opportunity to review them prior to today?
Yes.
Have they been edited in any fashion?
No, sir.
And Chatham West, when they maintain their surveillance videos, done the normal course of business?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sure. Do you maintain your surveillance videos in the normal course of business?
Yes, I do.
And in good faith?
Yes.
And again, you turned these over to law enforcement in January 2023?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
May?
Ma'am, I'm showing you a thumb drive. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Does it have your initials on it?
Yes, it does.
Does this have the video that you reviewed that had you previously turned over to law enforcement?
Yes, it does.
The Commonwealth would seek to have the video from Chatham West on the thumb drive marked as the next exhibit.
No objection. It will be marked and admitted into evidence now as 262.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the Commonwealth publish the video from Chatham West?
You may.
Thank you. Pause. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. In the top left-hand corner, what does it say as far as a date and time?
January 3rd, 2023.
And the time?
5:11 at night.
Okay. Now, with your surveillance videos, is the time accurate or can be off?
It's accurate. Could be off by a minute or two, but it's accurate.
Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Ma'am, your videos, I noticed that it's not continuous. Is that all of your videos, or how is that? Can you explain that process?
It depends on the camera. Sometimes there's a little bit of a lag where it becomes choppy like that.
So that's not abnormal. That can happen with your surveillance sometimes?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-exam.
No questions.
The witness may step down. Thank you, ma'am. Would now be a good time to break for the lunch.
Well, Your Honor, I think the Commonwealth's always made its opinion on lunch.
All right. Jurors, we'll take our lunch break now, and we'll see you back at 2 o'clock.
Jurors, everything all rise. Jurors, leave no quick speeches.
Have a seat. What's the session?
So that conversation we had about the photo earlier, Commonwealth used a photo that is blurred out.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
The Commonwealth is to use the photo that is blurred out.
The blurry one.
The blurring one, and that's upon the representation that the defense is not contesting that that is a photo of her. Correct?
No, the blurred one is fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, and there's no dispute that that's a photo of her, and you're content with me saying that to the jury.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sure.
Jurors entering, all rise.
Please be seated. Clerk's now in session. Turn off your cell phones, please.
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth would call Christopher Bernasconi. Judge, just call me, please. Please, clerk, just raise your right hand for me, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank
Okay,
you,
sir, right this way.
sir.
Just do me a favor, just take your time, just watch your step. You're gonna have a seat, just pull that little close. Well, in the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes, it's Christopher Bernasconi, and the last name is Bernasconi.
Where do you work, sir?
I work for TJ Maxx.
What do you do for TJ Maxx?
I'm a district loss prevention manager for District 1102, which is Metro Boston.
And how long have you been with TJ Maxx?
30 years.
And within Metro Boston, does that include the Norwell store?
It does not.
It does not. Have you had the opportunity to review videos from the Norwell store, though?
Yes.
And have you been designated as the keeper of records for TJ Maxx for those videos?
Yes.
And have you helped produce those videos prior to coming to court today?
Yes.
Did you review them and make sure that they were that they had not been altered in any way?
Yes.
One of the videos, though, there's a person that's blurred. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
Is that then because the person wasn't 18?
That is correct.
Now, the videos that you turned over, that you helped produce from TJ Maxx, that was done in January of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
And TJ Maxx, they maintain their videos in the normal course of business?
Correct.
And they are done in good faith?
Correct.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Sir, is this the drive that you were looking at that had the videos from TJ Maxx on it?
It is.
It is for January 4th of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to have the drive of the January 4th, 2023 TJ Maxx videos of Norwell. Mark the next exhibit.
Any objection to that?
No objection.
And the TJ Maxx thumb drive 1423 is now in evidence as Exhibit 263.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish Exhibit 263.
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, can we have the first video entrance? And Ms. Gilman, if you could press pause. Sir, where is this in the Norwell store?
This is referred to as the entry public view monitor, capturing the entrance of the TJ Maxx in Norwell.
And Ms. Gilman, could you go to 1 minute and 28 seconds on the video player? And Mr. Bernasconi, at the top of the video is a label. That is, do you see that? 2003-0104? The title of the video?
Yes.
You see that?
I do.
Okay. And the time on the video, is it fair to say that's 9:44 and 24 seconds as far as the start time?
That's correct.
Sir, are there any issues with the TJ Maxx videos as far as the accuracy of their time?
They're very accurate.
If you could press play. Ms. Gilman, could we have the second video cue? And Ms. Gilman, could you go to 8 minutes and 12 seconds on the video player, media player? Thank you, Ms. Gilman. And if you could press play. Sir, where is this in the store?
This is the public view monitor in the queue line, which is essentially the checkout area.
And Ms. Gilman, can we go to the final video for Register 4? Sir, where is this in the store?
This is above the cash register, Register 4, I believe.
Thank you, Ms. Gilman. And Your Honor, may I approach one last time?
You may.
Mr. Berlusconi, do you recognize this document?
I do.
Is this a receipt for the transaction that you just showed us videos of?
It is.
The Commonwealth would seek to have the receipt from TJ Maxx for January 4th from Norwell as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection.
The receipt that corresponds to Exhibit 263 is now in evidence as 264.
And Your Honor, may the Commonwealth
Publish it, yes?
publish it? I just want to make sure I caught it to the court reporter.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Mr. Berlusconi, what is the address for this store?
It's 10 Washington Street, Norwell, Massachusetts.
And does this share a parking lot with another TJX store?
Yes, the home goods division.
And could we go all the way down to the bottom? Right there. Sir, how is this transaction conducted? Was it cash or charge?
It was a store value card used to make payment in this particular transaction.
And how much was the transaction for?
$133.94.
And going all the way down to the bottom, if we may, what was the date and time of the transaction?
January 4th, 2023 at 9:53:59 a.m.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
No cross. Witness may step down. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
The Commonwealth would call Alyssa Kirby.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in the cause now in hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You can be seated.
You just follow me, please, okay? Take your time, just watch your step. You can have a seat. Just pull that chair a little tight.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state your full name for the record and spell your name?
Yes, Alyssa Kirby, ALISSA, KIRB as in boy, Y.
And where were you living in December of 2022?
I was living in Chevy Chase, Washington, D.C.
And were you familiar with Ana and Brian Walshe?
Yes.
And how were you familiar with the Walshes?
We were friends. I was introduced through my brother and sister-in-law.
And what's your brother's name?
Peter Kirby.
And so how would you characterize your relationship with Ana Walshe?
Yeah. Anna and I quickly became really close friends. And yeah, we were new best friends, we called it. And we spent a lot of time together. We just kind of clicked like sisters.
And when did you become so close?
Shortly after she moved to Washington, D.C. and lived nearby.
So you said she lived nearby?
Yes.
Can you tell us how far she lived from you?
About 5 minutes around the corner, 5-minute walk.
And how often would you see her when you, once she moved to Washington, D.C.?
I would say we planned to try to see each other about once a week. It wasn't always that, but about that.
And how often would you communicate with her?
Similarly, about once a week, or when she would come back to D.C., we'd talk about when we could meet up and hang out.
And did you know Will Fastow?
I knew of him, yes.
And how did you know of Will Fastow?
Shortly after I started spending more time with Ana, she would talk to me about him as the man who sold her house, but then her interest in him and just hearing a lot about him as a person.
And what did she tell you about him?
She told me of that she was interested in him, that she had a crush on him, but it was a lot more talk about their connection and, like, I guess what she wanted to have happen with him and her, I guess, just her interest.
And what did she tell you about telling Brian Walshe about this crush on Will Fastow?
She told me that she was open with Brian about her crush on Will and that he knew.
In Christmas of 2022, did you have communication with Brian Walshe on that day?
Yes.
And how did that happen?
Brian called me that day, and because he rarely or almost never called me, I answered, and he was looking for Ana because he said he hadn't heard from her. And so because she lived around the corner, I offered to go over there and check on her.
And what happened? Did you go over and check on her?
As I was getting ready to go, he had messaged me back that he had gotten in touch with her.
So when you say that you had talked to him first and offered to check on her, did you do that in text, on the phone, or something else?
I believe that first time was a phone call, and then later it was a text message.
And do you remember what time of day that phone call was?
Not exactly, but maybe I feel like it was noon or early afternoon.
Okay. And what was his demeanor when you spoke to him on the phone?
That day, I think he was worried or a little bit nervous.
And approximately how long was it after you had spoken to him that he texted you?
I think it was within like 10 minutes because I was getting ready to go, and it was fast enough that I hadn't left yet.
And did you speak with Ana Walshe that day on Christmas Day?
Yes.
And when did you speak with Ana Walshe that day?
It was late, much later that day in the afternoon. I was already with family for the holiday, and she called me as she was driving up to Massachusetts.
And what was her demeanor when she called you?
She was very upset.
And when you say very upset, can you describe that?
Yeah, she was angry, and she was upset that Brian would have called me that day because, she said that she'd only not spoken to him for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, that it really hadn't been that long. And, there was already some strife, and then she had...
Sustained, non-responsive. So I'll strike the last part. Ask the next question.
Certainly. So how long did you speak with her for that day?
Maybe like 20 minutes.
And did you arrange to see her again?
Yes.
And when did you plan to see Ana Walshe?
I can't remember exactly when we planned it, but I know we had planned a day to get together right before New Year's to kind of see each other, hang out, catch up, and like celebrate like a New Year's together.
And did you see her to have that celebration?
Yes.
And what day was that you saw her to have that celebration?
I believe it was the 29th.
And that was the 29th of what month?
Oh, December.
Of 2022.
Correct.
And where did you go?
We went a few places. We started at the bar that was across from where we lived that we'd been to a few times. And then we later went out to a karaoke dancing bar.
And how long did you stay out that night?
Like 6 hours.
So what was her demeanor that night?
So that night, because of what happened after Christmas, she was really upset. She was kind of breaking down because everything had been really hard, which Ana was always a very strong person, so that was very unusual for her. And she was just really upset about so much. She had really hit a breaking point. And we talked about a lot of things because she was so upset.
Ms. Kirby, can you tell me what she was upset about?
She was primarily upset about her and Brian's relationship, about being so far away from the kids, and feeling like she was upset having found out that the federal case was delayed, or she thought that the federal case was delayed by Brian, and that she just really wanted to be with her kids. Their marriage had been really strained for a long time, and she told me how like upset she was and how frustrating that was, and how she was really at a breaking point.
Jurors, I'm going to remind you that the statements that are being offered with regard to Ana Walshe's state of mind are admissible, again, limited to establishing her state of mind, as is relevant to the defendant's motive to kill. To the extent that such state of mind evidence includes statements describing the defendant's federal case, honest statements are admitted only to show the defendant's motive and not to show that he had a bad character or propensity to commit any criminal offense. You may proceed.
Thank you. Had you seen her like this before?
No. Ana was usually someone very, very happy, very joyful, very strong.
Okay, no characterizations, just your observations. Next question.
When talking, did she use specific words about what she had said to the defendant, which she had said to Brian Walshe about the legal case?
What she told me about that was that she was upset because she wanted him to take responsibility. She wanted their family together. She wanted that whole process to be over, and she wanted him to be responsible, be accountable, and do whatever he had to do to keep their family together.
And what did she mean? What did she tell you that she meant by the word responsibility?
Yeah, at that point in time, responsibility was potentially just taking jail time and admitting wrongdoing and just owning a mistake, and so that their family, that she would be waiting for them and that their family could be together.
Did she give you specifics of what she had told you about the amount of time?
I think it was all an estimate, but at the time she thought maybe a year.
What did she tell you about the physical separation and her family staying together?
I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask that well. What did she tell you about being in different states and what that physical separation might mean?
Yeah, that it was really difficult for the family, but that also, because of how difficult things were, she was contemplating what that could mean legally being able to take her children to Washington, D.C., and also the physical separation from a husband was very difficult for her.
What, if anything, did she tell you about having established a separate household?
That she had told me that everything was set up in her name, the house in Washington, D.C., and the bills were, everything was in her name. So she was trying to figure out a way that she could have the kids with her in D.C.
What, if anything, did she tell you about her intimate relationship with Brian Walshe?
She told me that, aside from everything being really difficult, that they had not been intimate in a really long time, like maybe over a year, I think she had said.
And what did she tell you as to why?
She said it was because that Brian had been really depressed and that the strain of the case had really just taken a toll on his mental health and their marriage, and that she felt also that that her energy was being really drained. Yeah.
Was she specific about what she meant by her energy being drained?
Yeah, at that time, she was saying that Brian was calling her several times a day, that she felt physically and emotionally exhausted traveling back and forth from D.C. to Massachusetts. There was just a lot on her body, mind, soul, and spirit, and that, that also just like emotionally feeling like she had to be the strong one was very draining for her.
What did she tell you about Brian and his mother?
She had always said that.
Your Honor, objection.
I'll see you at the side of the bench.
Ms. Kirby, in this conversation on December 29th, what did she tell you about Brian and his mother and a psychic?
She told me that Brian had told her that his mom went to a psychic and that the psychic had said that she was having an affair. And that night she told me how ridiculous that was and how like she was very upset by that. And she'd always felt that Brian's mom didn't like her, and that it was scary.
Did she say why? Why that was scary?
Yeah, I think because she always.
Objection as to, I think.
Yes, sustained.
Did she say why? Not your opinion, just did she say why in that conversation?
Yes, what she said as to why was that she felt like his mom never really liked her and never like wanted her in the picture, basically.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd ask to publish from one picture from Exhibit 145 on page 39.
It's already in evidence?
It is already in evidence,
You may
just the picture.
You may publish it.
Thank you. Ms. Kirby, do you recognize that picture? Yes. Can you tell me who's that a picture of?
Picture of me and Ana.
And when was that picture taken?
That night we went out on the 29th.
I'm sorry, did you say that was the night from the 29th? That was during that night of December 29th? Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. You can take that down. Did you see Ana Walshe after the evening of December 29th into December 30th, because you said you were out late, of 2022?
No.
When did, if you know, when did she leave for Massachusetts?
She left that next day on the 30th.
And when did you expect her to return to Washington, D.C.?
I think she had said like the third or fourth. It was a few days after New Year's. She was planning to come back.
Of January?
Correct.
Okay. And when was the last time that you communicated with Ana Walshe?
Right after midnight on New Year's Day.
And after that exchange with Ana Walshe on New Year's Day, right after midnight, did you get texts from Brian Walshe?
Yes, on the 2nd.
Your Honor, I'd ask to get an exhibit and then approach.
You may.
I'm approaching with exhibit 164.
164?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
You want to just look at that for a moment? Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And you can look through it all?
Okay. Okay.
And what are those?
Text messages between me and Brian.
Your Honor, may we publish Exhibit 164 for the jury?
You may.
Thank you. So I'd specifically like to ask about on January 3rd, if we could go down. Can you read on page 2, can you read that in green?
Yes. It says, hello, I know we did this a week ago, but have you heard from Ana?
And how did you respond to that?
I said, hey, Brian, sorry for the delay. Was sleeping. I have the flu and I'm super sick. I texted with Ana on New Year's Day, but no, haven't heard from her. Is she working today? She's usually running around super busy with work.
And when did you send that?
It looks like on January 3rd at 12:51 p.m.
And then did Mr. Walsh respond to you?
He said, you're right. I'll let you know when she calls. Feel better soon.
And then did you contact him later?
After that, I said, thank you. Yeah, and then the next morning, I was sick, so I slept the whole day. And the next morning, when I realized I hadn't heard back, I texted him, did you ever hear back?
And then what happened?
And then he said, no, they're looking for her at work now. And that's when I got really scared that something was wrong.
So what did you do after hearing that?
After that, I called my brother and I asked if he had heard from her and was explaining the situation.
You're going to object at this point.
Well, we can stop the publication. I'm sorry.
Sustained.
So just tell me what you did. What did you do?
Oh, after the text message, I called my brother and...
That's fine.
Okay.
That's all. And then what did you do after calling your brother? Did you speak with Brian Walsh at some point on the phone?
I did, but I don't remember if it was later that day or the next day on the phone.
And who was on the phone with Brian Walsh?
There were some calls that was just me and Brian, and there was one call with Brian and his mother.
And what was the call with Brian and his mother like?
Well, his mother was pretty combative. I think she sounded...
You approach sidebar?
Yes.
Going back for just a moment on the 29th, did Ana ever tell you how Brian reacted to his mother saying, the psychic saying that she was having an affair?
Yeah, she told me that he thought it was equally as crazy, or that was what he said to her.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
I'm going to swap out one and give you another. Recognize that jacket.
Yes.
Can you tell me what
Just stay on the microphone so we can hear you.
Sorry. Can you tell me how you recognize that jacket?
As Ana's jacket, one that she wore. Your Honor, I'd ask that this be the next exhibit.
All right, any objection to that?
None, thank you.
Jurors, that'll be marked into an evidence as Exhibit 264, photo of Ana. The face of Ana Walshe is blurred out for that photo, but there's no dispute that that is a photo of her in the jacket, in a jacket. Thank you. 265? Oh, yes. Thank you.
265.
265, yes.
And I'd ask that this be published to the jury, Your Honor.
You may.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cross?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Kirby.
Good afternoon.
It sounds like you and Ana got very close very fast.
Yes.
When she was down there, you guys would try to see each other about once a week?
Yeah.
Okay. And while she was down there, she was working for Tishman Speyer?
Yes.
And obviously, you would text or talk on the phone sometimes during the week?
Yes.
And sometimes go for coffee walks around the neighborhoods?
Not coffee, but often walks, or we would meet up. Yeah.
I'm imposing my own desire in that. Okay. And her work schedule was pretty demanding while she was down in D.C.
Yes.
And it wasn't uncommon that she would work until 7 or 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah, that was what she would tell me, yes.
Okay. And then on top of that, she was flying back and forth to Boston on Thursdays or Fridays and returning on Sunday nights or Mondays?
Yeah, often Mondays and then returning Thursday or Friday.
Okay. I want to talk to you a little bit about that Christmas Day phone call from Mr. Walshe.
Okay.
You had mentioned that it was not common or out of the ordinary for him to have called you.
Yes.
Okay. And I think you described him on that call as nervous and worried, right?
Yes.
And this was Christmas Day?
Yes.
And I think you told us it was about noon or a little bit past noon when he had reached out to you?
Mm-hmm.
And what he said is that he and the boys were expecting her home for Christmas and he hadn't heard from her.
What I recall he said was just asking me if I had heard from her because he hadn't heard from her.
Okay. And because of that nervousness or worry in his voice, you actually offered to go swing by her house to see if she was there.
Yeah, I thought that she was already back home for Christmas, and so that worried me, so I offered to go over.
Okay. And I think you said within 10 or 15 minutes he actually reached out to be like, we're good. She reached out to me. She's okay.
He said he had heard from her.
Okay. You had told us that you had also spoken to Ana on the 25th on the telephone?
Yes.
And you were telling us that she was angry and upset that Mr. Walshe had called you.
Yes, she was angry that, he had bothered me that day with that because she felt it had not been that long since they had spoken.
Okay. So it was Christmas Day and she was upset that he bothered you on a holiday and that he worried you.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned that Ana had a friend named William Fastow?
Yes.
Okay. And I think you told us that she shared with you that she had a crush on him.
Yes.
And she told you that she told her husband that she had a crush on him.
Yes.
And that Ana, when she was talking about sharing that with her husband, that they always had an open, honest relationship.
Yes, that was what she said.
Okay. And in that conversation, when she was telling you about how she had told her husband about having a crush on Will, that Brian wasn't the jealous type.
When she told me that, I was surprised, and she said that was the relationship. They were open, and that he wasn't jealous.
And not only was he not jealous, that she kind of wished he was a little more jealous.
I think in the way that a wife would want a husband to be protective, yes.
Okay. And during the time you were friends in D.C. with Ana, and during these conversations, she never told you that she was having a romantic relationship with Will Fasto?
Not specifically, no. We talked a lot about Will, but not that anything had ever actually happened.
Okay. So you believe that they had a connection and she had a crush, but she never told you that they had been romantic or intimate?
Correct.
I think you had said that during this conversation on the 29th, Ana had said that lately she was just feeling drained of energy, right?
Drained of energy just due to everything going on, yeah.
Okay. And she had also told you that she was someone that would stay up late and get up early in the morning, right?
I think she kept a busy schedule, not that she specifically always stayed up late and got up early, but that, she was doing a lot, and she just was a very energetic, passionate person.
And towards the end of December, there was a shift. There was a change in that.
Yes.
And she told you that she was falling asleep earlier and getting up later, and that was unusual for her.
Yeah, that she was really just starting to be sad, and everything was taking a toll on her. Yeah.
Okay. And it was, but when she was reporting this to you, she was talking about how even sleep, that she was falling asleep earlier. Falling asleep earlier in the night. She was sleeping later in the morning than she usually would.
I don't recall that exactly, just that she said that she felt so tired and burnt out.
Okay. You had mentioned that you had plans to get together on 12/29, but you also had plans to go out on December 20th, the week before.
I don't think I remember that exactly.
Okay.
But we often would try to make plans and then things would shuffle, so.
Okay. The plans I'm talking about on the 20th, she had canceled because she wasn't feeling well.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Right.
You shared with us during that long night out with Ana that the two of you were talking a lot about how it was difficult that she was away from her family. Yes?
Yes, okay.
Oh, I apologize. And she told you that, she said to Brian, you need to resolve this. Even if you go to jail, we'll be here for you when you get out.
She didn't specifically say, like, this, then this. It was more like a conversation about taking responsibility, accountability, what that would mean, that could mean just owning it and taking the jail time if that was what, because the sentencing hadn't happened, so we didn't know exactly what it would be, but that was something she wanted for him to take care of their family in that way and just take responsibility, have it be done.
And I think you told us earlier on direct that she said to him, we'll be there even if that happens, meaning her and the boys.
And I don't think she said that directly. It was more like communicating to me that she wanted their family to be together, even if that meant jail time, yeah.
Okay.
So I think they were still figuring out, like, what to do. They'd been living apart, and she wasn't sure what would happen.
And so what you're telling us is that she wanted her family together, and that she wanted him to do whatever it took so that her and Brian and the boys could be together.
Yeah.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
Ms. Kirby, did she want her family together?
Objection, Your Honor.
She stated it. She can answer it. So rephrase the question.
On December 29th, did she tell you, did she want her family together?
I think
Objection, Your Honor.
All right, listen to the question, answer the question if you can.
On December 29th, what did she tell you about if she wanted her family together?
she said that she wanted her family together. She also was exhausted and not really sure what to do, but I think she wanted her.
As to, I think.
All right. Sustained.
On December 29th, what did she tell you about if she loved the defendant, Brian Walshe?
She told me that he would often not tell her he loved her and would always ask her how much she was in love with him, and that she told me that this time she answered not as much because of everything that had happened. And yeah, that she was falling out of love, and also that she wanted, you know, I think she saw.
Objection, Your Honor. As to,
Again,
I think she saw.
I know it's a long time ago, but it has to be the statement she made to you, not what you think
Okay.
or what you understood from it. It's statements that she made to you.
Okay, sorry.
And on December 29th of 2022, how did she physically appear to you?
Tired.
And on December 29th of 2022, did you go out to karaoke?
Yes.
And did she go dancing?
Yeah, it was karaoke dancing.
Thank you.
Any recross?
No, thank you.
The witness may step down. Thank you. House of Counsel at the side of the bench. Jurors, I'm going to read another stipulation to you now. And this is a stipulation, again, an agreement of the parties, simply an agreement of the parties. A stipulation regarding the federal prosecution of Brian Walshe. Brian Walshe was arraigned in the United States District Court for the District of Massachusetts in Boston, Massachusetts on May 11, 2018. On April 1st, 2021, Brian Walshe pled guilty to indictments for wire fraud, interstate transportation for the scheme to defraud, and conducting an unlawful monetary transaction. On October 6, 2021, an initial sentencing hearing took place in the United States District Court. Brian Walshe was seeking a sentence of probation and restitution, while the government, through the United States Attorney's Office, was seeking a sentence which included incarceration of 30 to 37 months, restitution in the amount of approximately $475,000. January 2023, Brian Walshe had not been sentenced on the federal charges. Brian Walshe was represented by a lawyer in all stages of this federal case. Commonwealth may call the next witness.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth rests.
All right, thank you. So with that, jurors, I told you that this case proceeds in chapters. That chapter of this case is closed. That is, the Commonwealth has presented all the evidence that it wishes to present in this case. As I've told you from the beginning, there is no obligation, no burden on the defendant to do anything. And so I remind you of that. The burden does not rest with the defendant. All the burden of proof is always on the Commonwealth, and it stays always on the Commonwealth. The defendant has the option to present evidence if he wishes to. I'm going to suspend the hearings for today, and we'll see you back tomorrow at 9 o'clock, ready to begin the day. Thank you very much. And before we leave, I remind you, don't do any research about this case. Don't go on social media or any news media. Don't speak to anyone about this case, and continue to have open minds as you receive the evidence in this trial. Have a good night, jurors.
Jurors exiting, all rise. Jurors, please leave your notebooks in the chairs. Watch your step.
Good night.
Be seated.
What do we need to discuss?
First, we probably need to discuss, defendant would move for required finding of not guilty.
Go right ahead.
And
She can share.
Give me a second to read your pleading. All right, I'll hear from you.
for the most part, Judge, I'm just going to rely on that pleading, but what's important in this case, for purposes of arguing the Lattimore standard and the required finding, is that in the facts and circumstances of this case, even if you consider all of the evidence in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth, that the circumstantial evidence and the inferences have not been proven on the elements of premeditation and intent. And it's important to distinguish the fact that where inferences can be reasonable when they have to do with other factual issues that do not constitute the specific elements of the crime charged, here the inference must be beyond a reasonable doubt because it must support the element of premeditated murder, and it must support the specific intent to kill. And whereas the Commonwealth has based their whole prosecution on what we characterize as a three-pronged approach, that motive evidence that they theorize supports an inference of intent and premeditation, they have failed to present the type of quantity and quality of evidence that would then result in an inference beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Walshe ever premeditated a murder or ever manifested the specific intent to kill. The three-prong approach that the Commonwealth took in this case was that Mr. Walshe was motivated by financial interest, which has not been established by any inference sufficient to carry the day, even on the Lattimore standard. The second prong is that somehow Mr. Walshe was using his children and his role as primary care provider to avoid going to prison, and that has not been established by any sufficient evidence. And then there's the third prong, and it has to do with the affair, and where it seems clear that the Commonwealth has established that Ana Walshe did in fact engage in an intimate affair with William Fastow. They have failed to establish sufficiently to withstand a Lattimore standard that he even knew about the affair. In fact, if you consider the evidence in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth from their own witnesses, there is no evidence presented to this jury that he knew about the affair, that he reacted to any knowledge of the affair. And in fact, the reaction that he had fell far short of someone that was even jealous of the fact that Miss Walshe reported to him specifically that she had a crush on Mr. Fastow. And I understand, we understand, that whereas motive is not an element. That's not what we're arguing, and I say in our motion that if the government stands up and says since motive is not an element, that the argument that we just made doesn't apply. Well, that misses the point, because that is the whole foundation of their prosecution in this case. And so respectfully, Judge, in the unusual circumstances and the complex circumstances presented in this case, I would ask that a required finding be entered on indictment 001.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Viewed in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth, the evidence is sufficient for a jury to find the defendant guilty of the premeditated murder of Ana Walshe. Your Honor, as to evidence that the defendant killed Ana Walshe, the defendant was the only adult in the house on January 1st after Mr. Mutlu left. There's evidence before the court that Ana was a fit and active 39-year-old, and in fact that she participated in a vigorous exercise class at Bar Method on the 31st of December, where she demonstrated that she was in good physical condition. Evidence of the bloody slippers, bloody bath towels, bloody carpet, on his broken Gucci necklace, combined with the defendant's internet searches about cleaning blood from wood floors, his purchase of large quantities of cleaning products, are sufficient for the jury to find that Ana met a violent death in the living quarters of 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway. I also point out there was a cut on the defendant's thumb, and there was evidence that he did purchase Band-Aids and some antibiotic cream on January 1st. As to deliberate premeditations, there's evidence that the defendant was aware of Ana's relationship with another man. He told police that he monitored the Chase credit card statement. That is an evidence before the court. That statement includes a purchase of a plane ticket to Dublin in Thanksgiving, over the Thanksgiving holiday in 2022. The defendant was aware of Ana's itinerary. He told police that he had suggested that she go out during a layover in Frankfurt, which she did have a layover in Frankfurt at one point of that travel. And again, looking at that travel, it's clear that looking at the Chase statement that it was indicated a trip to Dublin. And the defendant told police that she had only gone to Serbia to see her mother. And I suggest the evidence is more than sufficient to find that he was aware of that trip to Dublin. He also searched Will Fastow's name on December 25th, and he also researched emergencies in buildings that Ana managed in D.C. I'd also point out that the defendant's phone, which he said was mislaid from December 31st to January 2nd, he told Mr. Mutlu that when Mr. Mutlu came for the New Year's Eve dinner. That phone was repeatedly unlocked and connected to a power source while it was supposedly missing. The evidence indicates that the defendant used that phone to create an alibi for himself. It explains why he was not contacting Ana. And then when he did say he recovered the phone, he started sending text messages to Ana, and he later showed those messages to police. It suggests he was using the missing phone as a way to create an alibi for himself. And to explain why there was he didn't have the phone with him when he went to Vin and Liquors and threw something into the dumpster, or when he was in Lowe's buying cleaning supplies and cutting tools on January 1st. Your Honor, there's also ample evidence of motive. There's evidence that the jury can find that if Ana took the children to D.C., the possibility of the defendant avoiding jail time on the federal charges would lessen. We heard testimony today about the impact of that on Ana and what she intended to do. Ana also had life insurance policies and financial accounts, which the defendant was the named beneficiary, and he stood to inherit substantial funds if Ana Walshe were deceased. And also, Your Honor, the defendant's elaborate web of lies regarding Ana allegedly leaving for a work emergency in D.C. He lied to friends, family, and the police about that. I suggest that that also is sufficient evidence to give this case to the jury, and would ask that you deny that motion for required finding of not guilty.
All right. The Latimer Standard dictates that I take every inference, all the evidence and all the reasonable inferences from that evidence in the light most favorable to the Commonwealth. Adopting that standard, I'm not convinced by the defendant's motion. I'm not going to repeat the evidence that the Commonwealth has just, in brief, summarized for the court. That evidence that this jury has heard and seen is adequate to allow the jury to deliberate the case, in that, again, drawing all the inferences, reasonable inferences from the evidence that's before this jury, there is sufficient evidence for this case to go to the jury for them to determine the three elements that are before them. But it gets over the Latimer standard. So the defendant's motion is denied.
We would just object to the record.
I understand. You indicated to me at the side of the bench that there were some evidentiary issues you wanted to address with me.
There are. Can we go to the sidebar for these, Your Honor?
Yes, you may. All right. So I think that we all have our tasks for the evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Anybody need anything? All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.